Welcome to this week's Coach's Corner. I'm David Collins, Athletic Director here at Greenville High School, and we're proud and excited to give you guys an inside look of our athletic program. Today, as we've done with a lot of our coaches, we're going to meet with Jeff Middleton. Jeff Middleton is our co-office coordinator, coaches our H-backs here for us. But he also serves as our academic coordinator, and I know a lot of you out there are always interested, and you should be, in the most important goal that we have of educating our kids. And I'm going to talk to you today about what Jeff does for us in the program and how that can help you guys and help support the goals that you have for your sons. Jeff, appreciate you being here, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Jeff, one of the things that we start every conversation with is just talking about the support systems we have. With the business that we're in is hard. It's long hours. It's time away from family. So our families have to be special and have to understand that. So give everybody just some insight into who you are by talking about your support system.
All right. So my biggest support system is my wife. My kids we're a football family. My kids love going to games. They're both in high school in Van Alstyne. But every chance they get, they come to our games when Van Alstyne's not playing, because my daughter is an athletic trainer. But, my kids understand that my kids have always understood the role that I play for not only in their lives, but in the lives of the kids that are in our programs and places that I've been before. They understand the value and the level of importance that I personally place on my impact on those kids. And I guess because they experience with me, firsthand, day to day, the impact that I have with my own children, they have a great appreciation for what I get a chance to do for kids that maybe don't have a male role model or a male figure in their life.
Awesome, man. Well, you talk about that journey of being a role model for many kids, and goes into the next question I have, just talking about your career. Now, you and I met in the spring of 2010 when I came to Garland. You were already coaching at Garland High School, so we've known each other for quite a bit, but there's more to your story, obviously, than just that piece. And I think everybody would love to hear. Just tell us about your coaching career, where it started, why you decided to become a coach, and how that's taken you up to this point.
Okay. So for me, I knew that I wanted to coach when I was in the 6th grade. And a big part of that was being raised by a single mother, single parent household. The influences that the coaches that I was around in Garland ISD and in Little League just were super impactful on me. And we had a career type day in junior high, and it was at that point in the 6th grade that I knew I wanted to coach. I wanted to teach. I wanted to be as big an influence on kids as the guys that had coached me had been on me. So going to college, it was a no-brainer, because you gotta have a degree to get to this spot. So attended North Texas, graduated from there, and got my first job at a middle school in Garland ISD. It's actually the middle school I attended. And then as a graduate of Garland High, still knowing a bunch of those coaches, was fortunate enough to get hired on at Garland High by Jeff Jordan, who was my position coach all 4 years in high school, and just a tremendous individual. But had the great fortune to be at Garland High School for 15 years, which is very rare in this profession, to be in one place for so long.
Absolutely, no doubt. When I first got this job, you were on my short list of guys to call, and I think it's just because of who you are and the work that you do every day for kids. It was so important. I knew the depth of the things that we were going to have to get done here, and how much of an investment it was going to be. And I knew you were the right guy for that. And it's because of the how much hard work you put into the things that you do and how much detail you put into the things that you do. Now, I preface that to talk about your role here as our academic coordinator, right? And it's not just for football. You're a help to every sport and every team in our district. So tell them a little bit about what you do to make sure that academically we stay responsible as a program?
So from an academic coordinator perspective, it's not just football kids. It's program wide. So all boys sports, all female sports. I get together with the PEMS coordinator, and she has helped create some documents for us that I receive on a weekly basis that give us a week to week, sometimes day to day view of what our kids' academics look like weekly. And from there, I distribute to the head coaches of all the programs, kind of so that they can do a great job within their own program of attacking tutorials, attacking any academic issues that their kids in their specific programs may be having, and then just kind of coordinate and organize what the tutorials look like and that whole process. Just and we've got several that I take. There are several of the kids that I know I've got to keep a special eye on, and just kind of always have communication with them in the locker rooms, coming off the practice field, just about making sure they're taking care of business, that things that we talk about in particular classes that I know they're having struggles in.
Awesome. Well, the results, I think they speak for themselves. You look at our, overall program-wise, just in football, and it's the one I deal with on a daily basis, so it's the one I get to see. But we were at just under 92% success rate academically for the 9 weeks. At the varsity level, we were 100%, which, I don't know a whole lot about the past of the program before you took it over, but I would know that you can't get better than 100%, which is an unbelievable accomplishment, especially in the first year of a program right there. With our junior varsity, we were well over 90%. We finished with a 93% success rate there. And with our freshmen, we were right at 90, which was exciting for me because obviously, you look at freshmen and they're brand new to the program. Their eyes are huge and they don't always understand the expectations right away. But to see those guys respond to the things that you've given the coaches the ability to do is awesome. And I know we're all extremely thankful for it. All right, let's shift back to just your day-to-day role as a coach. You've coached a ton of things. You've been a coordinator in programs and 6A programs. You've coached the offensive line at times. You've coached defensively for a long time. Matter of fact, when I met you, you were on the defensive side of the ball. But all of those things really are great on the field. But what drives you really as a coach? What are you really trying to get your guys to understand? And what's the most important lesson that you teach them on a daily basis?
Well, I think for me, the X's and O's part of it, the actual football part of it is probably the smallest part of what I think about from a daily process. Because we're not yes, we're trying to win football games and we're trying to teach kids how to play, specific positions and giving them coaching points and the details of playing specific positions. But I think the biggest influence or the biggest thing that I try to get to them is the having the ability to hear things in short bursts and be able to execute, which goes back to which leads to them having to be focused, having to be centered around where they're at right now. One thing I say a bunch is kind of be where your feet are from a mental standpoint. Don't be over here. Don't be over. This is where we're at. This is what we're doing. Make sure that we're locked in and focused in on stuff. But really, what you're trying to teach them is, one, a lot of these kids, they don't know what they're capable of, and I think when having the ability to, and you don't have to throw a huge party, but celebrating successes that they have, even if it's just one play that, hey, you finally did that right, great job. But the biggest thing I think that drives me truly is, the success right now will happen for a lot of kids. For a lot of them, it doesn't. So what have we done in the process that 10 years from now, when those kids come back, some of the biggest successes that I've been a part of had nothing to do with being on the field. It was kids coming back after 10 years and saying, thank you for being so hard on us and thank you for pushing us and challenging us, because this has happened and something that you said helped me get through this situation 10 years after I was in high school. And now I'm graduating from college, and the number of stories I can probably tell about kids that left our program not necessarily in the best of standards, but having the courage to come back and say thank you, or to say, hey, I wish I'd have done it a little different while I was here.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you giving us, telling us and being honest with us all the time, and driving us and pushing us, because ultimately something you did say 5 years after I graduated from high school stuck with me and has helped me get to where I am now.
It's awesome. We're in a building phase of our program, and like I said, the first night that they offered me this position, you and I talked about what this was going to be and what we thought it was going to be, and now we've got to see it for 8 months. I mean, it's different from an outside perspective looking in, but now we see it, and now we understand it a little bit better. But the first night we talked about the foundation of what we wanted to try to get done. We talked about, again, our whole format is building trust in people by competing relentlessly to act in a way that helps us win different scenarios. And you talked about it earlier as being where your feet are, right? That's the whole pinnacle of what we talk about, what's important now, WIN, which is how do you take everything that doesn't matter at the moment, get it out of your mind, and just focus on what you're doing, right? Well, it starts by understanding that every behavior has to build trust in that moment. Trust in yourself that you can win, and two, you're building trust in everybody who relies on you by winning that scenario, right? So when we talk about that foundation, love is free, but trust is earned. What does that mean to you? What do you think about when we discuss that with kids?
Well, just the fact that, kids in our program are going to be loved. Kids in our program are going to be loved, but it's their responsibility to to do the things that we're asking them to do on a regular basis, consistently, with the greatest efficiency, greatest productivity, for us to trust them. A lot of times kids think, well, just because I'm on the team, I get to play, and unfortunately, when you get to this level, it becomes a lot about, do we trust that you're going to execute offensively, defensively, whatever phase of the game, whatever position that you're on, are you going to execute that? Trying to gain trust with them. A lot of times, I think sometimes it's easier to build trust with them when it doesn't have anything to do with football.
Right.
Just kind of being around, and that's why I like to get in the locker rooms, and I'm usually one of the last ones here, and if there's kids here, I'm usually trying to talk to them, or just building a relationship with them so that they see that there is more to this than just playing football.
No doubt.
We're trying to not just build you up as a player, as an athlete, and as a student, but trying to give them have conversations with them that don't have anything to do with football. Yeah. Things that that they can carry with them through difficult times later on in life.
We're 1 week, because I know we got a game tomorrow versus Kaufman, but our final game of the season happens on Thursday of next week, right? So today we're 1 week from the finish of our season. So that gives us 7 days of work, right? What do you want to get accomplished with your position group in that 7 days?
Positionally, I want to continue to grow, want to continue to put an emphasis on little details of the position. That regardless of what scenario we're in from a season standpoint, they have to know from me that I'm still going to be particular about all the little details. Because at the end of the day, that's something that we've struggled with this year, is the little details of, just from all the new coming in, and some of it so much new coming in. A lot of times the little details are the things that are the hardest for them to remember. So just, I want to emphasize to them that, it's not exactly ending the way that we want it to, but there's still work to be done. There's still another day I get an opportunity to put pads on and get better at something. And so, really put that emphasis on, what can I get better at today?
Perfect. The people we're talking to have probably been around Greenville a lot longer than you and I have, right? So I think it's always fun to ask this question. And I think for guys that have been here like you and I for, about, I guess, what is it, 8 months now? 8 months. What's the best part of Greenville, Texas that you've found in that 8 months?
Well, I'll say just from the school perspective and the kids that we have here, I mean, the kids have been phenomenal. Take records out of it. A lot of times you come to a place and there's so much transition with new AD and head coach and so many new staff members. There's usually some big underlying off the wall behavioral issues, and not that we don't have some things that we have to keep our thumbs on, but from the perspective of coming in and working and making an attempt to do the things that we're asking them to do and doing it with a great attitude. I think the kids have been phenomenal out here, with us athletically. From a talent perspective, I mean, I haven't really met anybody that hasn't been pretty friendly to me, and there's a lot of people in the community when we go places and have lunch that have come up and patted us on the back and said, hey, it's been tough, but you guys keep going. You're doing a good job. And so, to see that certain things are being recognized outside of just wins and losses for what we're into right now has been a big positive.
Awesome. Well, I know how much I appreciate you being here and how much I appreciate everything you do. And I know the people I've talked to appreciate you doing it. And hopefully today they've got to see a little bit more about what you do and can bring that more of appreciation of the job you're doing for us each and every day. Thank you, brother, for being here. All right. And we'll be right back.
Public Power is more than a community-owned and not-for-profit service in Greenville, Texas. It's a commitment to our community. We pride ourselves in local leadership and accountability. At GEUS, our mission goes beyond delivering electricity. It's about providing low-cost yet reliable and high-quality electricity, television and internet services, and giving back to the community we live in. At GEUS, public power means local leadership and a shared vision for a brighter, more connected Greenville. Together, we're lighting the way to a better future.
Welcome back to this week's Coach's Corner. Now we're going to move to discussions with some of our football program guys and 3 of our seniors. But that discussion today starts with Victor Osornio, our senior offensive lineman. Vic, appreciate you coming in today, buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right, great to have you. Vic, what we do here is we try to give everybody a little bit more insight into our program, right, into the guys that they get to see play every Friday night and just kind of what their lives are all about. Today we're getting close towards the end of the season and obviously a transition in your playing career, right? Finish of high school football and transitioning into what's next for you. So we're going to get into that a little bit more today than maybe we usually would, okay? But we always start, Vic, by talking about, again, the people in your life that are really your champions, your motivation, your support system. And the reason we start talking about that is because to do what you do, man, it takes a lot, right? There's a lot of time you invest, and there has to be a strong group of people behind you, am I right?
Yes, sir.
So tell everybody a little bit about your support system.
So I got my mom is probably my biggest support system for me. She supports me a lot. I really look up to her. Also my dad. My dad supports me a lot, and my older brother. I really look up to my older brother. He is someone I want to be like the way he sets an example to me is like great. He's a great person himself.
Awesome. When you talk about your older brother, what are the traits that you see in him that make you want to emulate that?
He's a leader for sure. He leads. I've seen him do it before, and he just makes the right decisions. Like all week you've been talking about making the right decisions, and he definitely makes the right decisions all the time. He's
awesome.
A great person.
Awesome, man. Well, that's great. Well, let's talk about your playing experience. When did you start playing, Vic, and how did we get here today?
So I started playing, and the first time I played football was in 7th grade.
Okay.
Is when I started, and you could play.
All right. So you've been in the whole program. You've been here with Greenville?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome. Talk a little bit about the friendships that you've gathered over that 6 years of playing.
Oh, there's been many friendships. There's like Nick GEUS, is someone I've played with since 7th grade. He's our captain and center, and it's someone I've been right beside the whole time.
Awesome. You know, what most people don't know about football is like O-line is usually one of the closest groups of guys because there's no really other position like O-line in football, right? I mean, it takes all 5 guys synchronized together, knowing what's going on for us to be successful. You know, talk about the bonds you guys build as offensive linemen and how those things have not only matured through those 6 years of football, but also talk about, you know, your position coach, Coach Bowers, and how he's kind of built those bonds for you.
Oh, yeah, Coach Bowers is a great coach. Like, honestly, he's probably one of the best coaches, and he sets the example for us. So, like, I can speak for all of us. We like to take things slow. Like, we like to see where we fit up and stuff, like our fits, and then when to come off on the ball, like off our blocks. So he helps us, like, when we have questions, he guides us through and shows us what really should be going on and gives us that, like, confidence to know what we got to do to be successful on the line.
Awesome. You know, 6 years of football has had to give you many lessons, right? And many things that you've learned from it. Tell me what's the biggest takeaway from playing this game that you think you'll take with you moving forward?
Probably being disciplined. This game is a lot about being disciplined and just executing everything.
Okay.
Things have to be done for me to be able to know. I know what I got to do
to get the job done,
to get
right?
the job done, yeah.
Okay, good. You know, one of the things I know, Vic, that you're heavily involved in is our mechanics programs here at Greenville High School. Talk about a little bit about one, why you enjoy that so much, and two, how do you see that becoming a part of your life moving forward?
So my freshman year, when I was coming in here, I didn't know what it was, right? I just got into it. The first 2 years, our teacher didn't teach, didn't show us nothing. Like, we basically did nothing. But then a new teacher came in, Mr. Germain, and he's been a great example in my life. He's a great guy. And last year was the first time we got into the workshop itself, and we started actually doing work, painting stuff. Since last year, we've been working on different projects. We did a fire truck for Quinlan.
Yeah.
That was a great project for us.
That was really cool to see the finished product of that,
it was
man.
nice.
That was awesome. Yeah. Well, what do you see that maybe going in the future?
It's from last year to this to right now, I've learned a lot from it. Right now, Mr. Germain is trying to get us like a job into something like paint refinishing and all that. Mm-hmm. Working at a collision shop or something, and that's another thing he's trying to help us, like our class, find jobs, get ourselves in a good position.
Okay. Well, what do you think's next for you? Is it more college, or is it more that avenue for you?
I think it'd be more of that avenue.
Okay.
For me.
Okay. Just something that you're really good at, number one. I've just seen some unbelievable projects. Mr. Germain has shown me some unbelievable projects you guys worked on, but it's also exciting, man, and it can be a great career for you. There's no doubt. Okay, that's exciting. Well, Vic, let me ask this. We've got we got less, because today's Thursday, right? We play tomorrow against Kaufman, and then next Thursday against Crandall. So we have literally 1 week left in your high school football career, right? Okay. In those 7 days, Vic, what do you want to accomplish?
I want to show the younger classmen, like the freshmen JV players. I want to set the example for what next year should look like, how to take steps to get there. And yeah, I've already said, because a lot of like the middle school players, they be texting me, asking me, like a couple of them text me and ask me like what can they do to better their stance and all that. Mm-hmm. And for me that's good, because I just see that they watch me play. They be sending me, like when I get pancakes on the field, they be sending me those videos too.
Yeah.
But yeah, just just show like our lower grades how to be great and for what you're gonna build and what you're building here.
Absolutely, man. Well, I tell you what, we appreciate you, man. You've done an incredible job since we've been here. And Vic, I'm gonna ask the final question that I've asked everybody that we've interviewed right here. Okay, when I first got here, I talked to you about the foundation of our program. It is the very first meeting that I had with you guys in that turf room. Mm-hmm. And I said the phrase that love is free and trust is earned, right? Mm-hmm. And when I say that, Vic, what does that mean to you?
There's a lot of, so we love everybody in our program, but there's just some guys that haven't built that trust for us to play them on the Friday nights mm-hmm. and be able to fight for the G. But it just means like people just need to build that trust from us, the whole team, show that they will fight for us and they will compete when the times get tough.
Awesome, man. Well, you certainly have, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate who you are, and I look forward to all the unbelievable things you're going to continue to do for our kids the rest of this year, and then what you're going to do moving forward. Vic, thank you for everything.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. We'll be right back.
Hometown internet service and support that fits your budget. GEUS has you covered. Choose from 3 amazing packages. Need basic browsing? Try GEUS 50. Streaming and gaming more your style? GEUS 320 delivers. For the ultimate experience, try GEUS 500 and keep the whole family connected. Whether you're streaming your favorite shows or competing online, GEUS Internet keeps you connected. Visit GEUS.org or call 903-457-2800 to find the perfect plan for you today.
Welcome back. And we continue on with our look inside the football program and talking to our seniors this week with our senior H-back, Greg Washington. Greg, thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you, man. Greg, we talk about a lot, and I start all our conversations out because I think it's important for the people to get to know you guys from the inside, right? They get to see you guys play all the time, but I think it's important that they know just who you are, and I think all that starts with our support systems at home. There's so much work we put in to become the men we want to be, but we don't do it by ourselves. We do it because of those that are supporting us, right?
Yes, sir.
So talk about your support system and let the people know who you really lean on.
Who I really lean on is my mom and my dad. You know, my dad taught me, how to play the game, mm-hmm. and my mama was just there to teach me how to be a gentleman, and they've always been there to support me. And when I get older and I am able to make the money that I want to make, I kind of want to give that back to them.
Awesome. It's always great to pay it back to those that have given us so much, and knowing both of them and knowing how much they pour into you guys, both you and your little brother. I mean, they're a special group of people. There's no doubt about it, man. Talk about your history with football, Greg. When did you start playing, and talk about how you've carried that on to today?
I started playing when I was in kindergarten.
Okay.
When I was like really, really young. I just been playing ever since I was really young. I've liked it before I could even get to play the game. I would just liked it because my mama told me the story where me and my dad, when I was younger, we had this game called Hut, mm-hmm. and he said down to the Hut, I got the ball and I could run off and take off, and I guess that was just something I did when I was little. So I've been liking it my whole life. I could really say.
Game's always been with you, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's great to hear those stories, man. Especially even before you remember what's going on, right? I remember some of those. I got that little 4-year-old at home, my little girl, and just some of the things she does, some things she says. I hope she can remember them because they're going to be things that make me smile all the time. I hope they make you smile too, right? Those are things we look for. All right, Greg. When you look at a season, and coming up on your final season here in high school, you're going to transition to something new after this. Just talk about your experience being with the guys that you play with, and you played with, I would assume, since you were in 7th grade, right?
Yes.
Talk about the experience of playing with those guys and what that's meant to you.
The experience of playing with them has meant a lot. We've been through a lot, having so many different coaches coming in and out. we just been trying to find our way, and I think this year it's been better. It's been better.
Okay. What do you think you guys have done this year that's making it better? I mean, what brings that to the table?
How we work, how our work ethic has been. It's been better than it has been these past years.
Good, man. And you guys had to come together and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. What drove that? What do you think made you guys to decide that, hey, this is what we want to become?
We wanted a change. We wanted a really, really big change. I'm guessing that's what is what we wanted.
But that's what's drove you,
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, awesome, man. All right. Well, obviously, we sit here today, and it's Thursday, and we're playing Kaufman tomorrow, and then we got the Crandall game next Thursday, and we're a week away from your high school career wrapping up, right? And it's crazy to think that, right? I mean, it happens so fast, like we talk about all the time with you guys, right? Time goes by so fast, we can't waste any of it, right? But Greg, in that final week, and hopefully, whatever you want to do moving forward, we transition into the next, and I'll ask you that next. But what do you want to accomplish in that week? What is it something that you really want to focus on in that week?
Just getting better.
Okay.
Getting better as a human, getting better as a football player.
Awesome.
Just wanting to help out a lot more.
Awesome, man. Awesome. You say help out a lot more. Tell me what's one specific thing that you believe you've got the ability to help with?
Probably helping out with like younger kids that are younger than me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've seen my dad do it my whole life, so I kind of just want to follow in his footsteps.
No doubt. It's what we were put here to do, right? Make a difference in lives, man. And that's an awesome goal to have. When you look at after this, Greg, where do you see life once you graduate from Greenville High School? You walk across that stage. Where do you see life taking you next?
Coaching.
Awesome.
That's just, it's been instilled in me, and I've always done it. I always thought about doing it. I'm over there. I help with the sixth grade.
Yep.
I help with the sixth graders, and it's just been something that's just stuck with me.
Awesome, man. And you definitely need to do it, man. It's going to be something I think that you will thrive at, and this world needs great people coaching and serving others, man. And I'm excited that's something you're wanting to do. That's really exciting to us. We got here about 8 months ago, maybe? 8 months ago as a staff.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the first, matter of fact, the first time I talked to you guys in the turf room, I talked to you about the foundation of our program, which is love is free, but trust is earned, right? Yeah. And we talk about that all the time. When we say that, Greg, what does that mean to you?
Love is free, trust is earned. When it comes to the part when you say love is free, it's just, love is just there, no matter what. When it comes to the part when you say trust is earned, it's something that it takes a lot of time to get. You can't just get it automatically.
No doubt.
It's not like, oh, here you go. I trust in you. I believe in you. No, you got to earn that, no matter what.
No doubt. I mean, and you look at, and again, you talked about the transition that you guys have had to deal with, multiple coaches over your high school career and junior high career, and the hard part about that is for you senior guys, trust is built over a long, long period of time, and the 8 months we've had together may not always be the enough time, right? But we've got to do what we can do with the 8 months we have because we had no choice, right? I mean, that's just the situation that we were in. Being in a situation like that and being in a position where you just had to make the best of it, right? You had to get the most out of it, right? What do you think's the one thing you did that gave you the opportunity to get the most out of it?
Probably just stay focused on my assignment. It's probably the best thing that I got out of that, for sure.
Awesome, man, awesome. And here's the thing, too. I know, Greg, you've had to deal with some changes in position and things like that, right? And some tough things. And I know as a young man, that's not always easy because I went through it as a high school guy, too, right? I mean, I changed from positions when I was really late in my high school career based on a coaching change and some things like that. So I just want to say, I appreciate the fact that you've done it And you've done it in a way that's helped us continue to grow, because not a lot of people could have handled that adversity the right way. And I truly appreciate the way you've handled that. So I want to make sure I say that in front of everybody, because I know I've told you that before, and I just want to make sure everybody understands our appreciation for what you've done and sacrificed for this group of guys, because it's been immense. You look at the things that you talked about. You want to finish strong by making a difference for young people, and you want to get out there and do those things. Let's talk about finishing your academic career. What are your goals for the last 4 or 5 months of Greenville High School? What do you want to get accomplished?
Just making sure that I got everything right in order academically, making sure that my grades is good, that I'm passing every little thing that I need to pass in order to go to college.
Awesome. Have you thought about where you want to go to school?
It's a couple places I've thought about.
Okay. All right. You want to share them with us, or?
Commerce is one, Commerce A&M, Henderson State, and Angelo State.
Awesome. All three great places, man. And had kids that I've known have affiliation with all of them. And matter of fact, I got my teacher certificate at Commerce, so that's a great school, great place to be. Well, all right. Last thing I'll ask, man. You've been around Greenville, Texas a lot longer than I have, right? Tell me this: what's one thing about Greenville, Texas, that maybe means the most to you that I need to learn about?
The most that means to me, probably family. I want to say family.
Awesome.
Family means the most, because I have a lot of family down here.
Yeah.
So when it comes to family, I just feel like that I have to be I'm the older brother. I feel like I'm the older brother.
Okay, you are certainly the older brother, and you do a good job with that younger brother, because he's a sweet kid too, and he's got a lot of those same traits you do, man. And I can tell you've rubbed off on him in a good way, man.
Yeah.
Well, Greg, thank you for joining us today and giving some guys the insight to who you are and what you do. We appreciate everything you've done, man, and can't wait to see you finish this week and what the future holds for you. And hopefully one day maybe you'll be back here coaching with us one day. Does that sound good?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate
Thank
it. We'll be right back.
GEUS trims trees all year long because we want first-rate electric reliability. And you know what that makes? Mulch. Lots of mulch. Mountains of mulch. And if you know someone who needs mulch, just come to 502 Wesley Street to pick it up. You'll have to load it yourself, but you can take as much as you want for free. Because it's just one more way GEUS is delivering hometown service and world-class reliability.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner. To finish up our senior focus of our football program today, we have senior defensive back Tyler Trexel. Tyler, thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks for the invite.
Tyler, what we do here is we love to give our community an inside look of our program, man. They get to come watch us play every day, but they don't always know the guys that are playing, and I think it's important to give them a view of who those guys are and what they're about, right? And we always start that conversation by talking about the support system that you have. To do what we do takes a lot of time and a lot of hard work, and to get that done, you have to have a huge support system. So why don't you tell everybody at home just about your support system and what they mean to you?
I have a pretty big family in my house. A lot of support from the days that for instance, like last week against Harrow, I didn't play, but my whole family was still watching, supporting the team. I get late night texts from my family saying, have good practices and all that stuff. And then I have family members checking up on certain teammates, asking how the team's doing, and always wanting to be here for the team. So it's like more than just like my family, it's like my family is also joined in with the football team family. So we all keep each other around and motivate each other.
Awesome, man. That's great stuff. And without them, there's no way we could do the things we do, right?
Yeah.
So it's great to hear from them. And the things that they do to support the program just outside of you too, and as much as they invest in all the guys in our program, I think it's special. It's obviously a special group, special family that you have, and I know I appreciate them as well. Talk about your history of football, man. When did you start playing, and how you've gotten here today?
I started playing when I first moved to Texas, back in Mesquite for a Pee Wee football team called Mustangs.
Okay.
I believe I was in 5th grade. I've been playing ever since, and then the only year I haven't played since then was my 8th grade year when I first moved to Greenville.
Okay.
Because I was online school for the first 9 weeks because of they were doing road construction on our road and the bus wasn't able to come, so I missed out on 8th grade year football because of it.
Well, it happens, but sometimes you got to overcome those situations as we talk about every day, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm talking to the other guys, and it seems crazy to me, but we're sitting here on Thursday. Tomorrow we'll play Kaufman in our homecoming game, and then next week on Thursday we'll play Crandall. So you've got exactly 1 week left of high school football, right? And,
yes, sir.
Man, it goes fast, right? We talk about it all the time. But, but in that 1 week, there's still a lot to be accomplished. What do you want to accomplish in that last week?
I want to be able to, make the team, the guys that aren't as disciplined, instead of, how you say, instead of the, we want a player-led team, and instead of the coaches getting onto a certain player and players and all that, I believe that it should be us players. I want to try to get as many players to start punishing certain different players if they're not doing the right thing, and so we can keep going through practice and get as much snaps as we can through practice. And instead of having to stop practice for a coach to get on to someone and fix it, it could be the players getting on to them, coaching them about it, going back through the next snap, and then we have more time to practice and get better and better.
Absolutely. We talk about a player-led team all the time is the difference between being motivated and being driven, right?
Yes, sir.
Motivation is fleeting, man. It doesn't last very long, but being driven is something that lasts all the time and
yes,
can
sir.
overcome many things. And that's an awesome way to think about it, man. Hopefully we can get that done. All right, let's fast forward to May. You walk across that stage of Greenville, Texas. What do you want to do next?
Barber school.
Barber school. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Why barber school?
Ever since I started getting my hair cut at, there's a barber shop that me and my dad go to. It's Beard Boss and located in Rockwall. It's just like the family there. Like as soon as you walk in, it's like you don't get judged. It's like as soon as you walk in, they welcome you as a family, awesome. And you can get to connect to people with them, get to learn about people, and you're just sitting there talking to someone probably for maybe 45 minutes a day, and it just brightens up your day. Awesome,
man. Well, that's unique, and it's awesome to hear about.
Yes, sir.
And where does that take place? Where does barber school take place?
I'm gonna try to go to the barber school located in Greenville. It's over there by the military recruiting place by Walmart. It's called Trim Setters.
Trim Setters?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. Well, look forward to that. And maybe I ain't got a whole lot of hair left, man, but maybe one day you can help cut mine as we get there. Whatever I got left. Maybe you can teach me how to keep some of it I got. You know what I mean? I'm trying. I'm working on it, man. It's running away from me, but I'm working on it. Okay, awesome, man. That'll be exciting. All right, a couple of little things we'll finish with here today is the first day I met you guys, I talked about the foundation of our program, which is love is free, trust is earned. And
yes,
something
sir.
I ask everybody on these is what does that mean to you? When we use that in our program, what does that mean to you?
What love is free, trust is earned to me is like you can love someone like just by meeting them, but trust, it's you gotta build it so much, like going into practice, or for instance going to work, because it's like it's not really practice, it's a job for us. Like this is something we love to do and we want to compete, so we take it seriously as a job. If it was just like something that we just for fun to do, it wouldn't be as important to us as like a job. And so you showing up every day, you're doing your assignments, you're doing all that stuff, then your coaches can look at you. It's like, yeah, he's actually doing what he's actually putting his heart into it, and he's not just skipping out on it. He's actually doing his assignments. He's actually watching film. He's actually doing all that stuff. So it's pretty much the same thing as being in a classroom. The every day you show up, all the assignments you get complete, then the teacher don't have to worry about you failing. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing out here. If you do your assignments, you watch film, you're at practice every day, the coaches don't have to worry about you messing up during a game. It's gonna happen, but it won't happen as frequently, and then we have a better chance of winning.
Awesome, man. Awesome stuff. All right. Last question I usually ask is, I've been here for about 8 months, and you've been here a lot longer than I have.
Yes, sir.
All right. What to you, what's the best part of Greenville, Texas that maybe I need to learn about? Maybe I don't know about because I've only been here 8 months.
The community and some restaurants.
Okay. What's the restaurant?
Fat Hermanos, located in downtown.
Okay.
It's a really good
Okay.
place.
All right.
My parents go there every Friday night.
Yeah, well, I know.
Thursday night or Friday night, they go there once a week for date night.
Oh, that's
It's
awesome.
really good.
Well, I know y'all brought that for some team meal that
Yeah.
time, and it looked unbelievable. No
And
doubt.
they're really, like, all the employees are really nice, and they're not like a regular restaurant where they just treat you like a customer. They treat you like a family. Like most of the restaurants some of the restaurants in Greenville, they're just like a normal restaurant. But for instance, IHOP, and I just started working at IHOP, and like the first week, it feels like a family. Like you can talk to anyone pretty much about anything, and it's like you don't feel judged when you walk in some places in Greenville. Like you just feel welcomed.
Awesome. Welcoming community. I couldn't agree more about that.
Yeah.
It's been a great experience for us, and because of guys like you, man. And I appreciate everything you do for the program and everything you've been for us every
Yes,
single
sir.
day, man. Tyler, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back.
Conserving energy is important to us here at GEUS. We even pay rebates when you buy energy-efficient appliances. Your conservation helps all GEUS customers. In the future, we will need to build new electric generators, and this can be expensive. And with our population growing, we will need that power. That's why we give rebates for Energy Star appliances. So think about replacing your bulbs with super efficient LED bulbs or adding insulation to your attic. Together, we can help all GEUS customers by doing our part. Check out our rebates online, and remember, GEUS is always ready to serve and assist you in any way we can.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner. And as I say every week, I hope you've enjoyed your look inside the program today. As you went through the program, you heard me ask all the guys and the coach and Coach Middleton, what do you want to get accomplished in the last 7 days of our season together? Because obviously for us, the one thing about being a coach is the years are just continually moving on and on and on. This year's 115 becomes next year's 116 on Friday morning for us. But little phases of things that we want to get accomplished are always on the docket for us. And in the last 7 days, as I've shared with our guys on Monday, and as I've shared with our guys really through a week, but mainly hit it this morning in practice, is just the mindset that what we need to accomplish is take little steps to get closer to the program that we all want to be, and what discipline has to do with that. I hit 2 points and drove 2 points home at practice this morning. Number one is how do you become a person that's disciplined enough to stay engaged in the moment and win that moment? Not only win it, but identify it first, what it takes from you and what it demands of you, and then actually execute the skills that it takes to win it. Each and every day our kids come to us just like we as coaches come to this program in this facility, and we've got a lot of things going on outside of it. But the pinnacle of performance in our program is WIN. Again, I'll go back through our program is foundation is build trust. We build trust by relentlessly competing to build skills that allow us to win the moments that we're in, the situations that we're in. But to do that, you got to be able to stay in the moment. You got to be able to take everything else that's going on in your life and put it to the side for just a second and truly focus on what the moment asks of you. And I think that's one of the toughest things that we have to do as humans is how in the world, with all the things that we have going on, how in the world do we stay disciplined enough to put all the things that are happening, all the good things, all the chaotic things, all the tough things that we're having to go through, how do we put those aside and really just focus on what we need to do? That's our goal every day, is to teach people how to become that kind of person, how to be able to take all the things that are happening, silence them, and focus in on what you guys got to do. And the reason why we ask them to do it is the second thing that we talked about, which is, what if we were able to do that for an extended period of time? I had a young man today in practice. He took a rep. The first rep he took was like we've done a lot of things, which is kind of, we did my assignment, but I didn't do it with great effort. I didn't do it with great execution, and I didn't finish it. By the end of the play, we had lost our assignment. And I challenged him, and in the second one, he did it perfect. Kept his feet moving, he finished the play. It was perfect, man. It's what it should look like on film every single day. And I asked that young man, I said, if for 17 years you approached everything like you approached that second rep, how different of a man would you be? And I didn't just pose that to him, I posed it to all of us, and I think about that to me, I think about it daily, is for 47 years, had I attacked everything for 47 years the way I understand to attack it today, what kind of a difference would I have in my life? And I think, if we really think about that every day, and if we really understand, man, there's so much more I could have accomplished if I'd have just learned discipline earlier in my life. If I'd have just learned how to understand and focus in the moment earlier in my life, and that drove my action. Well, the last thing I said to him is this: I can't do anything about the 46 and a half years before now. I really can't. He can't do anything about the 17 years before now. But what he can do is take that lesson and make sure that, for me, hopefully the next 47 are lived like that. And that turns me into the man that I want to be. And for him, the next 67 years of his life can be lived that way. And what kind of man can come from that? And I challenge that to each and every one of us. We always know what to do. It's just about understanding to having the discipline to do it every day. And if we did it every single day, what kind of life could that lead for us and those that rely on us? So that's our challenge these next 7 days. It's our next challenge these next, however many years that you guys blessed me with the chance to be the leader of this athletic program. And it's also the challenge I give to you each and every day, is the person that you can be is out there. Go out and attack it with discipline.
This video has been brought to you by GEUS. GEUS is your community-owned provider for electric, internet, cable TV, and true local programming.